The power of imagining. Good day to you, dear friends, dear Lightworkers, here on planet Earth in the Great Awakening of 2021. And so the Great Tribulation, the Great Revelation in this November month is proceeding as it needs to. The powers that be are still disseminating the same old, tired, untrue story. The news is still of violence and hatred and death, of mankind's brutal and sadistic nature, of shootings and bombings and savagery. And yet, in their daily lives, the majority of mankind does not see such violence and cruelty. As we have often said, mankind is basically kind. Humanity is basically humane. So why does the media, the mainstream news, concentrate on the negative, fill its reporting with scenes of mayhem and disaster, with images of hatred, shootings and woundings, supported by dark colours and noisy sounds, of angry words and heavy explosions? This, dear ones, is mind control. Yes, our thoughts control our reality. And what influences our thinking? What directs our thoughts into peaceful, joyful, loving, compassionate frequencies, or into a low-vibrating, angry, revengeful fear frequency? It is the images we see. This is why we are so often advised to spend time in the peace and tranquility of nature. This is why our spirits are lifted, our love is increased when we see beautiful paintings, watch uplifting movies, spend time with our supportive loved ones. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine seeing in your mind's eye something beautiful, something uplifting, your pet, your child, a loved one, a forest, the ocean, flowers, birds, trees. Open your eyes and you feel uplifted by the scenes you have envisioned. Now close your eyes and see a scene of war, of death, a scene of bloody disaster. Envisage a shooting, the beating of a child, a prison environment, starvation and extreme poverty. Your spirits, your vibration, your love quotient will fall into sadness, anger, a desire for revenge and thoughts of punishment for the cruel perpetrators of these painful scenes. Unless you are an extremely high vibrating being who can stay in the love vibration, regardless of what is happening around them, seeing such scenes, imagining such aggressive violence, will lower your frequency, will drop you into fear. And so it is the images we see, the images that we remember from the past, that determine our mindset, that direct our thoughts. And this is how, over the centuries, over millennia of time, the powers that be have mind-controlled humanity. This is why those who watch the mainstream media are manipulated into fear. The media, the television, radio and newspapers, have been taken over by the powers that be, those that play the part of the devil, of evil, in this great stage play that is the planet Earth schoolroom experience. And this is all as you intended it to be when you were in your heavenly, loving unity consciousness and were planning the events of your life. For you are a divine soul, a drop of water in the ocean of God, of love consciousness. For God is love. God is the electromagnetic energy that powers the universe and all that the universe holds. Your soul that is ensconced within your human body, your vessel that allows you to communicate in the material realm, your soul is a part of the great divinity. Remember why you came into this planet Earth material realm. It was to expand your consciousness. And by expanding your consciousness, you individually and the collective of mankind is expanding the knowledge, the frequency of love of all that is, of God. In the heavenly, loving unity consciousness, as a spirit, there was little expansion. Bliss ruled the day, and in earthly terms, for there is no time in heaven, hundreds, thousands of years could go by in loving peace and bliss. An infinity of this ineffable state was before you, and this is the natural state, which is your wonderful inheritance, and to which you will always return, for there is no hell except here on earth. And so why was low-vibrating earth, with its violence, its hatred, its evil created? You, along with your human brethren, created it in order to expand your consciousness. You ate of the tree of good and evil, and by so doing, you expanded heavenly consciousness, heavenly understanding. In order to understand deeply the ineffable, indescribably wonderful power of love, you decided you needed to experience the opposite, that is to dive deeply into fear. And through the millennia of human lifetimes, you have done so. In your thousands of reincarnations, you have been everything, from rocks and water, flowers and trees, animals and birds, to finally, and at last, humans. You have experienced all that there is to experience in schoolroom planet Earth. You have been priests and nuns, prisoners and slaves, torturers and tortured, murderers and murdered. And in experiencing all that can be experienced in this duality of light and dark training environment, you have grown the depths of your soul's consciousness. You have expanded the consciousness of love, of all that is, of God. For God is love. God is the great I am. God is all that is, the power that animates the universe. Over the millennia of time of your reincarnating visits to planet Earth, you have turned from narcissism to love. Earth is a place where duality exists. As a human, you had no memory of your heavenly existence, no memory of the unified consciousness that is love. And as a human body, you gave yourself an ego, the sense of self-importance, a need for control that gives you the desire for control over others. And so your ego allows for the experiencing of duality. As a young soul, your ego ruled your life. You were narcissistic. In the excitement of human life, you wished for pleasure. You loved the sensations of taste, touch, smell, sight, and hearing. In heaven, you did not experience the wonder of the taste of food, the pleasure of sex, the delights of seeing. And so, over lifetimes, you were out for your own pleasure, and to selfishly get what you wanted, you did not care how you hurt your human brethren. In fact, you loved denigrating them, for in so doing, you felt superior. Yet there was the law of karma that tempered you into turning to love, for by the law of karma, all that you perpetrated on others, you had to experience yourself. It was in experiencing the pain yourself that you grew in understanding. You had eaten of the tree of good and evil. You developed compassion. You turned from power over others to love. You became harmonious, forgiving of your brethren, for now you understood their pain. With that painful experience, you dropped your need for control and manipulation. You cleared yourself of the entrained, programmed, heavy negative thoughts and images that had filled your mind. And as you turned to love and healed yourself of your need for control, your soul, that had been quietly waiting for you to experience the pain and the pleasures of earthly life, brought a remembrance of itself to you. And then, compassion, peace, love and joy came to the fore. You became an empath, a sensitive, feeling human being who had great compassion and great love for all your brethren in their suffering journey through the human schoolroom. And so, there are no accidents. Life is happening for you and not to you. There is, from the divine viewpoint of your soul, no good, no bad. These are just choices you make to grow your soul, to advance the growth of love, of universal understanding, of the heavenly paradigm. Now is the time of the great awakening of humanity back to its divine nature. You are becoming an avatar, a manifestation of deity, an expression of love in human form. You are returning to the center point of neutrality, of understanding that nothing is good or bad. All that you experience is a choice that your soul makes here on earth to give you the experience. And so you return to love, to the unified consciousness of the knowing that you are all love, all divine souls having a human life, a human experience. A human experience in which you choose good and bad according to what your soul needs for its growth and development. The images you see and the consequent thoughts that you have are all a part of the human journey. You are brave souls indeed that have gone through the deep, dark hell of fear that is the planet Earth experience. And now, the great deception perception is ending for those of you who have become loving, caring, compassionate, harmonious empaths. You are returning to love. How wonderful is that? The control system that manipulates you through harsh and painful images is crumbling. The truth of the delusion that has been perpetrated on you is dripping out. It is becoming a deluge of revelation. Be of good cheer, dear ones, for the best is yet to come. Indeed, the best is yet to come as you drop your programming, as you envisage, dream, imagine your beautiful new world, the wonderful life that is ahead of you. Think of it, envisage it, for your imagining creates your reality. All is well, dear ones. Powerful love energies are being flooded onto the earth. You can feel them as your frequency is raised in your light-headed, peaceful, powerful love vibration. Pulses of love lift you up and above the discombobulation of the earth. Yes, be of good cheer. All is well on planet Earth. You have eaten of the tree of good and evil, and you are returning to love, and so the best is yet to come. Indeed, dear friends, the best is yet to come. That was Aita, channeling her higher self. We are blessed beings, indeed.